Head over to miniaturemarket.com where they have thousands of board games at discounted prices and you can sign up for product alerts. Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Today we're going to take you alongside us when we go to Sedona, Arizona, which is a few hours from the Phoenix area. And it is, in my opinion, one of the most beautiful places ever. And we're going to be taking you there because we're going to be doing all sorts of cool things. We're going to be trying to go on a hike and try to see different things. But Sedona also, oddly enough, is sort of like on the edge and overlaps around 3 different biomes. And later on at the end of this video, we're going to talk about a game that has to do with biomes as well. So there's a lot to do here. I'm not gonna have a whole lot of footage getting to Sedona because I'm actually driving there at night and there's not gonna be a lot I can show you because a few months ago I bought tickets to the Sister Act play at the local community theater here. And so I'm going to that. I won't get done with that till about 10 o'clock tonight. Get home, get the last things packed in and take off. Won't get to Sedona until around 1 a.m. to our camping spot off the forest roads there. But there's always a ton of things to get into the van and prep the van and pack the van. So let's get going with that.
So we got some sun chips, coffee, getting some waffles, so gotta have some waffle syrup, right? Some rice, some little snackies. Gotta have some little bit of veggies for some of the burritos that are gonna be made. Gotta have some olive oil, peanut butter. It's fall, right? You gotta have the hot honey. All right, I got most of the van prepped now until later tonight. So we're gonna go down to the play, go see Sister Act. It's gonna be dark out after that. And then we're gonna load in the last few things and get going at night all the way to Sedona.
So you might have been wondering, why was the box office empty? No one working there? Why was the lobby empty? That's because we were getting the van ready for so long that we almost missed the start of the show. It's Downtown parking is crazy, and we luckily found like the best spot right near the theater somehow. But even with that, we barely got to our seats. In fact, we got to our seats about a minute after the show was supposed to start. As soon as we sat down, it started. So, whew, man. So now that the show's over, it was amazing. We're gonna go back, get the dogs, load them up, and drive through the night to Sedona. Come on with us.
So we got here about 1:30, 1:45 in the morning last night. It was so dark, I could barely see anything. We found a spot that was like, you know, all by ourselves. We're like the only ones here. And of course, like on the other side, on a different little road, there's like a ton of RVs parked over there. So I'm not sure, I feel like we're in the right spot, but we're the only ones here. So this was a little further off the highway than that other spot. So maybe because that was the first one, there was no one there. So didn't get a whole lot of sleep. But it's a cool little spot here, so we got ready. Just took the dogs out, so now we're gonna go have some breakfast.
Now in the morning, nature calls, so I set up a little pop-up privacy tent for the porta potty. Driving to the trailhead and hoping to see some of the different biomes from within Sedona that match the game Subastral. The video just does not do this place justice as to how beautiful it is.
So got to the trailhead, and of course, as people warned, there was no parking. Almost got a spot. I was like 1 second too late. I could have got a perfect spot for the van, but then it just got crazy crowded. So I gotta go drive 12 minutes to the spot where I can hopefully find a spot to park, and then get on the shuttle to get back to the trailhead. So we'll see how it goes. All right, finally just got off the shuttle. It was like an hour process to get the shuttle, put all the dogs, get the dogs ready, get them all watered up and let out before I came out, put all the shades up. Oh my gosh, it took like an hour. Everything in the van takes so much longer with dogs. But behind me, check that out. How beautiful is that right there? And just check this out. This is just absolutely beautiful. Look at the background. I'm not sure how well it will it definitely won't do it justice, but look at all that. We're gonna be climbing all this. It's gonna be great. It is supposed to rain in about an hour, so we might not even be able to hike this too long, but we're gonna try to do as much as we can. I brought an umbrella, brought some water and stuff, so we might have to turn around later early. One of the 3 biomes that Sedona is part of is the temperate coniferous forest. Even though there's a lot of red rocks, there are quite a bit of forest trees, a lot of places as well. I'm not a biology major or a geology major. I don't really know a whole lot about forests and trees and stuff, but maybe this is part of that biome, which is one of the main reasons why I came to Sedona, as I mentioned. 3 different biomes, and Subastral, the game we'll talk about later, is about biomes. Check this view out behind me. This huge... The video probably doesn't do this justice, but it is so gorgeous in person.
Even the walk back from the shuttle to the van was gorgeous.
So the hike went well yesterday, and then got to a camping spot that we found off the iOverlander app, and there was a ton of people camping there. It was very close to where we were the night before. In fact, the reason why we were alone is because we weren't supposed to be camping there. Arizona recently shut down, sorry about the highway noise, recently shut down a bunch of the camping spots that used to be camping. So we went to the place that we could see in the video from yesterday where all those people were. But it's a dirt lot. It rained all night long. We knew it was going to rain. We knew it, but we didn't know it was going to rain all night long. It wasn't supposed to rain that much. We were pretty much all the way stuck in mud, and we were able to get out somehow. We had these nice people that we were in like inch thick of mud. I mean, I just got most of the mud off my shoes. We were in like, it was crazy. The mud was nuts. So some people, nice people, had boards. Let's put some boards into the tires, and we had to release 20 psi of pressure. And so we just got out. At first, it didn't look like we were still going to get out, even with the boards. There were other people that were helping us that were like, as we got a little bit and we would get stuck, they would move the boards and put them in front, and then we'd move a little more. They move the boards. We were moving like an inch at a time. It felt like we were just spinning. I didn't think we were ever going to get out of that mud. It was ridiculous. It was like a mosh pit. Once we started going, I wish I would have filmed all this, but I was under so much pressure and stress. Oh my gosh. But we got to this really uneven spot, but we made it past. And so for right now, we just made it to the highway, as you can tell with all the loud road noise. Sorry about that. Or pumping up the PSI now. Good thing I got that compressor. Just got it like last week. 2 weeks ago, right before the previous trip, and good thing we got this. And it doesn't quite reach because the van's so big, so luckily we also had an extension cord that we needed to do because we have an outlet right out the back, but even that it wouldn't reach because the cord was too small. So luckily we had the extension cord. It was like, oh my gosh, I didn't think there was any way we were getting out of that. Now on the lighter side, look at these views. I mean, it wouldn't have been terrible to be stuck there forever, but it was very stressful. So pumping up the tires and then gonna like actually get the morning started because we didn't let any of the dogs out to go to the bathroom yet because it was just a mud pile. So we're trying to get these tires pumped up and then get the dogs to a spot where we can like let them out. I don't want to put them on the highway. So there's a rest stop like 0.4 miles away we're trying to get to. So we'll check in later. All right, so we did make it to that little pavement rest stop, had some coffee, had some pumpkin waffles, then we started driving home. So on the way home here, let's talk a little bit about those biomes I was trying to come up here to see. So the coniferous forest is dominated by cone-bearing trees, especially pines, firs, and spruces in the northern hemisphere. And the landscapes of steep mountains and high stony plateaus with rocky outcrops from the Kaibab Plateau in northern Arizona to the Mogollon Plateau. Interior chaparral is a word used to describe shrub-dominated plant communities, and in Arizona, it covers approximately 3.5 million acres running between the northwest corner and the southeast corner of Arizona. Now, semi-desert grasslands are characterized by mixing a grassland with certain desert-associated species, and they're the hottest, driest, and sunniest of North American grasslands. Now, these desert grasslands occur over 193,000 square miles north from west central Arizona through Mexico to West Texas and extending south through 13 Mexican states. All right, well, there you had Sedona looking at different biomes, having all sorts of fun, hiking up there, trying to see all these different things that relate to the game Subastral. So let's talk a little bit about Subastral. Let me give you a quick 1-minute overview of how this game works. Subastral is a beautiful strategic card game for 2 to 5 players where you're trying to build the best journal. You're going to be scoring by collecting sets into that journal. For example, mixed sets are going to be an unbroken sequence of your journal of unique different types of biomes. And these biomes are beautiful cards like the temperate forest, tropical rainforest, chaparral, or arctic tundra. And hopefully you'll be scoring multiples of these depending on how you've built your journal. But you'll also be scoring by having your 2 largest matched sets of the same biomes as well. In terms of simple, you're simply playing a card under a cloud and then taking all the cards under a different cloud. Sometimes adding those cards that you take to your hand, other times adding them to your journal, depending on where that cloud is in reference to the ones that you actually played to. So the turn structure and mechanisms of this game are very simple, but the depth and the strategic elements of this are extremely deep.
Now, I'm not going to go into any more detail how the game works. I already did the official Rule School video for this that teaches you how to set up and play the game, and you can click that up in the corner here if you want to see exactly how the game works. Now, what I think is cool about this game is it was sort of a not necessarily a sequel, but it's done by the same two designers and publisher that did a game called Stellar, which was a 2-player game that had very simple mechanisms but brain-burning decisions. And they were able to sort of replicate the idea of that concept into this game that plays more than 2 players. I think it's 2 to 5, I think it is? Yeah, 2 to 5 players. So in this, same type of thing. On your turn, it's so simple. You're going to play a card into the same number in front of you, and then you're going to pick cards either from the left or the right, and depending on which way you go, you're going to do something different with them. Take them to the left, you're going to add those cards to your hand. You take it to the right, you're going to add those to your journal, and you're trying to build up these journals of different biomes, and they're at odds with each other. There are 2 main ways to score in this game. One of them is getting big, long strings. If you can get all 8 biomes all the way through, you're going to get a ton of points. In making multiple lines of those, but if you break a string, you get a lot less points. The other way is to make big columns of the same biome. But the thing is, there's not an equal amount of cards of the different biomes in this game. So it's really clever that usually you'll do one of those scorings pretty well and one of them not that well. Because you're gonna have to figure out, where do I put the ones that are not as available? The ones that there's less cards, you're less apt to get those. So are you gonna use that? You're gonna put those early and maybe not have the greatest strings, but maybe have the ones that are easier to get be way far to the right, which will get you more points for the columns. It's just really clever that the mechanics are simple, the scoring, it's one of those things where you gotta teach scoring first in this game. But it's really clever, it plays really fast. With 2 players, you can play this game in 15 minutes. With 5 players, no more than 40. I mean, it's a pretty quick game. But it's interesting. The cards are beautiful. We were able to see some of these biomes in Sedona. And if you're looking for something quick and easy, Subastral is definitely one to check out because of the ease of play, but the layers of depth, the different ways of scoring that are at odds with each other. It's just a very clever game. I hope you enjoyed following along with me to Sedona, possibly seeing some of those different biomes on the hike and such, and going around Sedona and using those biomes in Subastral to maybe teach you about a game that you haven't yet seen before. This has been a Game Boy Geek, breaking down barriers, growing relationships through board games by helping you find the next one you'll love. Game Toppers not only transforms your existing table to a high-quality gaming solution, they now offer full leg kits and dining cover solutions for the full table application. Paired with their amazing, thematic, premium stitch edge mats from noted board game artists like Vincent Dutray, collapsible cup holders, and really cool accessories, it's a complete system that upgrades every game you play. Go to GameToppersLLC.com or click the link below to late pledge for their latest Game Topper 3.5 Kickstarter campaign.